Hi! In today's video I show you how to draw a sweet little chipmunk. I have drawn this sweet guy in a live drawing session in my membership Animal Art Club. I have drawn together with my students in a Zoom room. This is really fun, and we have brought together many beautiful chipmunks, and I show you here in that time lapse how to draw it. You can follow it, you can just take your pastel pencils and draw along or press the pause button. I explain you everything in detail. I hope you like it, and if you have any questions, pop them below in the comments. Before we start, if you are interested in joining Animal Art Club, I have here the link for the waitlist. And now let's start. Okay, I start here with the black Pitt pastel pencil and fill out the eye with black pastel pigment. And then I add a white as a highlight in the eye. These light reflections are always important. Make them a little bit darker with light blue and blend it with a paper stamp. Then I also add a bit dark blue, a very dark indigo blue, to have different colors in the eye. And then I go over again with the ultramarine light blue, add another light blue on the lower eyelid, and then also darken down with black the lower eyelid, add some fine thin black lines around the eye, and add a brilliant white highlight then on top and some little dots to let the eye pop and sparkle. On this little eye of that chipmunk, we do not more, so that's enough. This was a drawing lesson in my drawing community Animal Art Club, my online drawing school. We have drawn this sweet guy live in a live drawing session. These are always fun. My students come together and draw together with me in Zoom. And bringing this little chipmunk to life, a whole animal, was really fun. Here I go in with brown. By the way, if you're interested in joining Animal Art Club, you find the link to the waitlist below in the description. So click the link below and sign up to the waitlist to be informed when we open the doors next time. Here I plot in different brown tones, so you see the stripes on the face of the chipmunk. So I do an underpainting and blend it with the paper stamp blending tool. And then add here for the nose a little bit black. We don't see a lot of the nose of this view. And add then start and building up fur structure with the black. Bring in contrast and also different lines for fur structure. Start building up the fur in layers. Always between the layering process, I go over then with the blending stamp and remove grid. Also some tips: rotate your pastel pencil while you're drawing, that you can achieve fine lines. Work with little pressure, I always repeat that. And I use here different orange browns, terracotta colors, brown tones, and also bring in a bit gray. And I like to work also with ivory in my animal portraits, a very light yellow. So a cream color here for the lighter stripes, and always add also highlights in the fur. You have to work very precise here on that size. The chipmunk drawing is about 8 to 10 centimeters long. These are 3.1 to 3.9 inch. And I draw on dark gray pastel matte paper. The color is called dark gray, so the name, it is a middle gray, and I prefer to draw on that paper. Unfortunately, the colors of the pastel matte paper from Clairefontaine are different to draw on. The smoothest experience you will have on the dark gray and on the brown pastel matte paper. Other colors can be a bit rougher, but you have to test it out for yourself what you like. I also like the sand color. And I also like to draw on anthracite, but dark gray and brown are my favorites. Here I bring in the black inside, so around the ear, and fill out the ear areas with a base layer. Blend it with a paper stamp, and bringing some white around the ears, and fill out here the lighter parts with white. Sometimes I also start with a light base layer and then blend over it with a paper stamp and make it darker by blending. Here let's add some more brown strokes, so it's again always a game, a changing game between darks and lights. Here I plot in the stripes, so the darker brown stripe with a brown underpainting and with an ivory color with a light yellow color here, the lighter areas. I use here also cream, this is more yellowish, and blend it with the paper stamp. No worries if you blend brown into the lights. That is made with intention because I want to darken down the base layer to create a mid-tone that I'm be able to go over with lighter colors then afterwards. Here I go in with darks, bringing in more shadows, starting building up the layers of the fur rendering here, of the fur structure. Focus always on fur direction. Have a good look at the reference photo. In what direction are the hairs growing? And while I'm drawing the lines, I always blend also with the paper stamp over them. You can use different blending tools, paper stamps, cotton swabs, sponges. When you blend over, you can remove grit, make the animal softer and so on, and push the pigment into the paper. Here I go over a bit with orange, so an orange color. Swipe over, add some orange pigment and also ochre. This is brown ochre, so a yellowish ochre color. It's always important to bring in different colors and color values, shades into your animal. It does not matter if you use exactly the right colors. The more important thing is that you bring in the right values, so the lights and the darks, that if you turn your drawing into black and white, that you have then light grays, middle grays, dark grays, and you have good contrast in there. That's the most important thing, that your drawings look realistic. It also does not depend if you make it so detailed, so many little details. I love to draw details, but it is more about the values. So if you don't have darks in there, then your portrait will look flat and not so realistic. It will look more like a cartoon if you don't have the darks and the lights in there, or no mid-tones. So use many different values, these soft transitions, to make your portrait realistic. I always try to bring in the character of the animals into my drawings. That's the most fascinating thing, you know, to draw the animal's personality, especially when you're doing commissions or drawing your own portraits for sure, or bringing your friends' pets to life on paper and gift their portrait to them. So try to draw their personalities, and the eyes are something that are very important for that, to achieve that, to you know, the eyes are the gates to the soul, and you will bring in the personality of the animal into the drawing when you really focus on the eyes, on sparkling eyes, and then also for sure on details, that your proportions are accurate, that you really draw the animals you are supposed to, you want to draw. If you're drawing such a chipmunk, just in general it does not matter so much, but if you are drawing your own pets, of course the proportions should be correct, that it is your pet, your dog, your cat, not another one. So there are so many components you have to focus on. Yes, and it is so much fun to draw animals. Try it out. Sign up for the waitlist for my membership Animal Art Club. We are such a lovely, supportive, kind community of like-minded people. They all can make friends in the community, find people of their country. There are hundreds of members all over the world. So we have Americans, Australians, United Kingdom members, Canadians. So it is really great. A great place to connect and to grow as an artist and become a confident animal portrait artist. So our little chipmunk is coming to life, more and more to life. We are layering the fur, blending the layers, going over again with other colors. Here I bring also in a bit violet. You see on the reference photo in the shadow area, there are colors like violet, blue, orange. Remember, there are always so many different colors in your drawing, so bring in different color tones, make your drawing much more realistic. You can also use more vibrant colors than on the reference photo. It depends on your style. So you will develop your unique signature style. You will draw in your own style. Every artist is different for sure. And either you bring in more vibrant colors or just focus on natural colors. That's totally up to you how you would like to create your portraits. These little paws can be a bit tricky with these little toes. So here I add bit black between the toes and add a bit fur on the legs, on the arms here. The smaller a drawing is, of course, the finer, the more detailed you have to work. The larger you choose your format, the easier it is to draw, because you don't have to focus on so fine lines. And now we draw these little red berries. This is always fun to work with lights and shadows and different values of red here. Dark red for the darker parts, and then adding black and darken down the shadows and blend these little layers together. You can blend pastel pencils easily, and that's the fun thing, because you can then create so nice soft transitions by blending over with a blending tool. I add here a bit green where the little chipmunk is sitting on as a base layer, and add darker green strokes for grass to create a bit of a structure here in that plant or meadow where the little chipmunk is sitting on. And some highlights. It's always the same process, mid-tone darks and going in with highlights and other different colors. A light green, adding some little leaves on top here to create that grass and brighten it up a bit with white. Adding some lighter highlights, reflections on the greens with white, going over again and again. So be patient. Drawing animals and realistic nature scenes with pastels needs a bit patience. Here I draw then with the pencils a blurry background, plotting in different colors. Oh, that's first the tail. We don't see the tail so well on the reference photo, so I create here a bit of a blurry tail. And then the background with different colors, greens, orange tones, a bit darker black behind the chipmunk. I like to create a bit more contrast here to let the chipmunk pop. And add some orange tones, a little bit light green. Just plot in colors you like for the background, so in some stains. Just roughly, the first stage always look rough, and then I take a blending tool. So for here I also add a bit yellow, and then when you're satisfied, I take here for blending the blurry background a simple cotton swab you can buy in a normal store, and create soft transitions between the stains by blending these areas gently together and create so faded layers that are going into each other. Add another green layer here and a bit yellow, and then blend again the pastel dust. Sometimes I also just blow it away a bit carefully and go over again with the cotton swab, blend the edges, create soft transitions. I also like to go over with the finger and make it softer, and more, blending with the finger is easier, I find, but you have to be careful that you don't bring in any wax or oil into your drawing, so make sure your fingers are clean. Yes, and then add some final details. Always after doing the background, I go in with some fine overlapping hairs, whiskers, fine fur hairs. Adding some fine corrections, adjustments, make some parts darker, and then it's finished. Okay, wasn't that sweet? I hope you have enjoyed watching or drawing. If you are now curious about learning how to draw animals with pastel pencils, if you would like to have some me time or just to connect with other like-minded people that think and feel just like you and draw with them and learn with them, and I can support you on your animal art journey, here is the link to the waitlist. The doors are closed at the moment, but I inform you when we welcome new members again. And here is another video that might be interesting for you. See you soon here. Bye bye.